Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the brakes on this BMW 328i. This process is going to be similar for all BMW's F30s, 320s, 328is and 330s. It's going to be the same way. Maybe part numbers are going to vary depending on the year. So without mind, let's start with the process. So the first thing you have to do is to lift the vehicle up. You can see that the car is on some stands over here and is off the ground. Second step will be to come over here to the top of the vehicle, over here where the brake tank is, the brake fluid is. So you have to remove the cap. First thing we have to do is to remove the wheel. What I do is to extend the caliper. We have to open the caliper. So for that we need a screwdriver like this one. It's pretty easy. We in here, so we can pray it, so we can open it slowly until it gets completely open. That is open, but still there is some space. Then we need to open more, so we have to push it back like this, and we are going to insert another screwdriver here, and now we want to press it again so we can retract the caliper completely. See? And it is fully open now. So that's the way you do it. So now we are ready to remove it. So the next thing is to remove this thing over here. This is just a cover, a little plug cover for this, but it holds the brake sensor. This is the brake sensor. So all you have to do is pull it out. So you have to be careful with this one. So what I do is I use a screwdriver like this one. See this type of screwdriver? So I'm going to place it right here so I can remove the sensor. See, like this, and the sensor is out. See, pretty easy without breaking it, because if you pull it from here you can break the cables and then it's gonna be hard. So we just put it on a side, and next thing we have to do is to remove this over here. We have to remove this one from here. So this one, just press it in like that and you remove it. See, pretty easy, nothing complicated. Put it on a side, and we go back to the rear, and we have these little plugs over here. Just remove them. It's one plug, and we have the other plug right here. These two plugs. Okay. And after removing the plugs, we're gonna be using an 8mm socket. This is an 8mm socket, Allen. Then we're gonna place right here, and we're gonna use a ratchet to remove them. And once both of the pins are out, see, I'm gonna put it on the side, and we can remove the caliper completely. See, pretty easy. So the next thing is to pull this brake from here, and this one you just remove it from there pretty easy. I'm gonna leave the caliper hanging for a bit here. So here we have the two brakes. You can see them, they're a little low. They're not completely low, but they're gonna need replacement. And you can see this mark. This mark over here is where it tells when the brake needs replacement. If this little line is completely gone, that means that the brake, it is bad, completely bad, and you need to replace it as soon as you can. But in this case, still has some, see, some meat here, so still could be good for a couple days, months, depending how you drive the car, but it is just better to replace it. I have the brakes right here. These are the new brakes. These are Bendix, but you can buy different type of brands. I just decided to buy this Bendix brand. Nothing particular about it. You can buy whatever brand you want. You can see the difference on the new brake and the old brake. See, there is a big difference on how the brake looks. See how much meat we have here, and you know, it's barely anything. So that is the reason why we are going to replace them. So you have two different brakes. So you have, see, they have two different type of brakes, but we have 4 in total because we are going to replace both sides. So just make sure to inspect them before you install them. Then you have the two sides. So this is for the passenger side, this is going to be for the driver side. Doesn't matter which one, you can change the position like this and it's still gonna work. So we have some grease over here. This grease is just mainly to lubricate the pins over here and this area over here. If you don't apply grease, nothing will happen. So if you don't want to do it, it's fine. You can apply some grease. This can reduce the amount of sound. It's very important to apply grease here, but in this case, this is made of a different material than actually reduce the sound of the brake when you are braking. It's a soft material here, it's not metal. So that's why you don't need to apply if you don't want to, but still we're gonna apply some grease here, but I think it's better to apply it here on the caliper because you know where the contact surface is going to be. So just apply a little here and a little here. Not too much, it is just enough. And here, and apply some here too. And that's about it. You don't need to apply that much, remember that. So apply something here too. Something here, here, here to lubricate these areas. And that's it. So now it's time for the brake installation. This one goes right here. It's just one way. You cannot put it backwards, so it is only one way. And this one goes to the caliper, and you're gonna insert it inside here like that, and it is in. And now we can place it back. Just make sure then the brake sits on that area. See, it's sitting here, and it's sitting here too. See, and that's it. That's all you have to do. So the next step will be to insert these pins. But before inserting these pins, it's very important that you apply grease to them because they are the reason why the brakes were uneven. If these pins are bad, I mean they are not lubricated, you're gonna have a problem. Then the brake is gonna just wear from one side and the other brake is gonna be okay. So that's the reason why you have to apply some grease to it. So apply some grease to this one and to the other one. That's it. Now we can insert it. And make sure to thread it in. I'll be using the 8mm Allen socket to guide it. Okay, it's in. So see, the caliper moves around. It's not tight, completely tight. So before we tie the caliper, what we're gonna do is install the spring in here. So it is easy to install the spring right now because it is not making any pressure. The caliper can move. So see now the spring is in. Easy because the caliper is flexible. And last thing to do is to tie the 8mm bolts. You can use a regular ratchet, and as soon as you feel that it doesn't go more, that's fine. So that's pretty much it. And last thing to do is to replace the caps. This is very important because water goes in and can actually damage the pin if you don't put them back. The sensor is very important to install too. In this case, is the last thing you're going to install. So all you have to do, insert it and press it in, and that's it. It's in. See? If you are not sure, you can use a little screwdriver just to press it from the sides and make sure it's in. See? That's it. Secure and place this little thing back. And the brakes are changed on one side. That's a pretty easy process. Nothing complicated. It's pretty similar for all BMWs. It doesn't matter what type of BMW you have. It's going to vary depending on the type of caliper. As long as there are no M3s, M4s or other M vehicles. If they're regular BMWs, the process is going to be similar. So to finish this process, all we have to do is to place the wheel back. Now what we have to do is go to the other side, past the driver's side wheel, and we have to repeat the same process on replacing the brakes. And as soon as I get done with that, I want to get back to you. So the front axle brakes were replaced, both of the sides, passenger and driver side, and we have the brakes over here. They were wearing even. You can see the way they were wearing. They were fine. So that means that there was no problems with the brake system. The brake system was working fine. So pretty much the replacement is done. The last thing we have to do is to tie this cap. You remember we loosed it at the beginning of the video. Tie it back and go inside the vehicle, and once you are inside the vehicle, you have to press the brake a couple times. As soon as you press the brake is gonna go all the way low, see, because we remove the calipers. So we have to press it like 2-3 times so it gets back to normal. And that's all. This is all it takes to do the brake replacement on BMW 320, 320i, 330. It's going to be very similar. Doesn't change that much. Probably what is going to change is the part number on the brakes. So you have to look for the right part number for the brakes on your BMW. And pretty much these are all the details that you need to know on how to replace them. Pretty easy process. If you find this video informative, make sure to like the video, and if you want to support my channel, use the description section of the video where I have details how to send support to my channel, so I can continue making helpful videos like this one for you or for anybody else that want to learn more about BMWs. Subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.